Hey guys, it's Jeremy here on Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What do you have for today, guys? Is another glorious edition of Freddy Fridays. I believe we're up to episode number 90, so we're closing on the 100 episode mark, which is pretty cool. I definitely want to do something special for the 100th episode, either like a full concert reaction or maybe we'll do a live stream or something if you guys are interested, but we'll figure that out when it comes. And this episode, guys, what I decided to check out was a clip I came across on YouTube entitled What Happened to John Deacon, The Sad Story. So I'm assuming there's going to talk about how he kind of left the band and what kind of happened with him afterwards. So I thought it might be kind of cool to check out, put some focus on him opposed to the rest of the band and kind of dig a little bit deeper into John. So let's jump right in, guys, and check it out. In 3, 2, 1, Queen.
What happened to John Deacon? John Deacon was a legendary bassist for Queen, one of the most successful rock bands in history. However, despite winning multiple awards and even getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, John Deacon quietly left the band years ago. So, what's the secret behind his mysterious departure, and what has he been up to all these years? While he never took center stage alongside May and Mercury, John Deacon was a driving force behind the band. Back when John was still in Queen, he was one of the songwriters for the group, and he laid the groundwork for numerous top 10 hits. Including another one, Bites the Dust, You're My Best Friend, and I Want to Break Free. And he even co-wrote their smash hit Under Pressure, as well as One Vision and Friends Will Be Friends. Born on August 19th, 1951, the now 69-year-old John Deacon joined the band in 1971. Roughly a year after the founding members changed their name to the iconic Queen. He was known as a quiet type who could play the bass extremely well, and he also had some skills with electronics, making him a prized asset to the band over their former bassist, Tim Staffel. Replacing Staffel was monumental since it was Tim who met Freddie Bulsara at Ealing Art College in London, and it was Tim who eventually got Freddie to join the band. You'll know Bulsara by his stage name, the iconic Freddie Mercury who frontlined Queen throughout their rise to stardom. John's quiet and down-to-earth demeanor was welcomed by the wild rock stars who wanted a band member who wouldn't clash with their personalities. However, the very qualities they prized in John would later drive a wedge between him and the rest of Queen, causing John to leave the group at the height of their fame in spite of their success and the pivotal role he held in the band. Shortly after he joined, the full classic Queen lineup was solidified with Deacon on bass, Mercury on vocals, Roger Taylor on drums, and the mastermind behind the group, Brian May, on guitar. Together, they recorded albums, toured, and amassed a number of hits that they later compiled on their Greatest Hits album from 1974 to 1981, which went on to become the best-selling album in UK chart history with a record 900 weeks on the chart. Queen's fame dipped in the early 80s following a few albums that didn't quite live up to the standards that fans expected. Their lull didn't last long, though, as Queen was once again skyrocketed back into the limelight after the Live Aid performance in 1985. We even did a whole video about Queen's legendary Live Aid show, so after this video, check the link in the description to learn why Queen's Live Aid show was the greatest concert of all time. Unfortunately, after the incredible Live Aid show, Mercury's health began to decline as he began to lose his battle with HIV. Freddie's untimely death in 1991 shook the soft-spoken Deacon, who later recalled, "As far as we're concerned, this is it. There is no point carrying on. It is impossible to replace Freddie." After Freddie passed away, Deacon played only 3 more venues with Queen: the Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness in 1992, a charity concert in Midhurst in 93, and after a 4-year hiatus, he returned to play the opening of the Béjar Ballet in Paris in January of 1997, where he performed The Show Must Go On with Elton John. After these few fleeting concerns, Deacon formally retired from Queen. However, his retirement wouldn't last long, as just a few months later in October of 97, Deacon quietly picked up his bass again to join Queen in the recording booth as the band crafted their final song together titled No One But You, Only the Good Die Young. Then, after this final farewell tribute to Freddie and their band's amazing success story, Deacon left music behind completely, never to return. In the documentary titled The Show Must Go On, The Queen plus Adam Lambert Story, both May and Taylor expressed their side of the story when Deacon left. They said Mercury's death caused John to freak out because of how close he was with the star. It turns out, Mercury kept John stable and helped him cope with the pressure of being in such a famous band. Without Freddie, Deacon just couldn't handle being under pressure anymore. So, what is John Deacon doing now? Unsurprisingly, the soft-spoken hard rocker has kept to himself since he retired. Rumors speculate he dealt with clinical depression from losing his friend Freddie. John's made an effort to stay out of the public eye, so much so that he even opted to stay home instead of joining Queen during their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. He even had the option to join the remaining Queen members during collaborations with Paul Rodgers and Adam Lambert. But even though he wouldn't have to step on stage to record some potential hits, he still turned down the efforts. Although John kept his distance from both music and public performances, he was still involved with the business side of Queen to help with financial decisions. Taylor told reporters in 2014 that Deacon's contract with Queen only extends to financial matters, so he has no social ties with the band. Taylor also described his former bandmate as a little fragile. Although Deacon still keeps an eye on the band's finances, he doesn't actually contact May or Taylor directly, leaving a cold radio silence between the former bandmates. Despite lacking the hard rock attitude and showboating extravagance that Queen's known for, Deacon still amassed quite a fortune from his time with the band. The Sunday Times Rich List estimated Deacon's net worth at a staggering $103 million as of 2011. But after the smash success of the 2018 semi-biographical movie Bohemian Rhapsody took home multiple awards, it's a safe bet that Deacon's wealth has only grown thanks to his cut of Queen's revenue. These days, John lives in the lap of luxury in his home in Putney in southwest London that he bought with his first Queen paycheck. While John might not want a spot in the limelight, he's not antisocial like his ex-bandmates might say. He lives in Putney with his wife of 45 years, Veronica Tetzlaff, along with his 6 children. It's no surprise that Deacon opted out of the movie that grossed a mind-blowing $904 million worldwide. Instead, American actor Joe Mazzello, known for his role as Tim in Jurassic Park, played the bassist on the big screen. John Deacon gave the remaining band members his blessing to take the band in any direction they chose. While Brian May and Roger Taylor never hear from Deacon anymore, and even though he continues to remain out of the public eye, John Deacon will go down in history as one of the greatest bassists of all time. So that's the story of John Deacon's life after Queen. What are some of your favorite Queen songs? What bassist would you like to see step up in his place? Let us know in the comments below. If you rocked out to this video, click the like button and subscribe for more amazing videos covering all the coolest stories in music history.
Pretty cool. I wouldn't really consider that a sad story. From what I took from that and just a general, oops, 1 second. What actually happened was, I think the guy just left the band with dignity after his friend left and died, and he just didn't want to have any part of it. I don't blame him. The other guys obviously want to still, play the music and stuff, and I'm sure a big part of it is just to pay out. They want money. But for me, as much as the other guys are crucial to the band, without Freddie, there's no Queen. Like, I don't know if I'd really want to see Queen with like Adam Lambert singing or somebody else. Like, it'd be really cool to see the music live, and you still get to see like Roger and Brian play the instruments. But without Freddie, it's just, I don't know, it's just not the same. Even with the other guys still playing, I don't think I'd want to see them live personally. So maybe that's what John had the same kind of feeling. Without Freddie, the music part of the business is gone. He just doesn't want any part of it. The one thing that was really surprising to me was that he didn't really have contact with Brian or Roger much at all. That kind of surprised me. I thought they would still be friends and hang out and, get together, hang out as family with their families, etc. So that part of it kind of surprised me. But I'm sure John Deacon's still getting a huge cut from anything Queen does. He's still like a member of the band, so I'm sure they pay him a pretty penny, even if he's not going off out on the road or any kind of projects they do. If they release like a box set or the movie, for instance, he definitely gets a cut of all that anyway. So he's still getting a fair share. But I thought it's a pretty cool video. It was a little bit different look into John's story after Freddy left primarily. But let me know down below, guys, what you thought of the clip. And until next week, keep it metal.